But this is for people who really didn't take it. You do a university, like a college course later on. Okay. We're going to start soon.
That was pretty funny.
What was it?
Huh?
Was it?
What? Oh,
Was-
that,
What was really funny?
teacher let us out early because he thought it was, the class ends at, 11:30. Because we,
What poor confused teacher did you take advantage of?
no, we just like,
Or you just
we just
accepted
didn't
it when
say
it happened?
anything. We just didn't say anything.
Right.
Which teacher? Kilo
I'm not gonna say.
Oh, I'm not gonna tell.
Yeah, you will.
I'm just confused who's that confused. No, because the only person who get in trouble for that is them. But regardless.
That is also not getting it.
I was in the group with Forest. Today's front end of the day is Forest. And then today's
I haven't seen you.
no, I didn't. I did that.
You go to a
There we go.
Oh, I don't know if I did that. I haven't got the back yet.
No, so let's begin.
What number?
This one.
I don't know what that is.
It's the same notes we were doing last day.
Oh, what was last day?
That.
Saturday?
No, today's Wednesday.
Oh, my bad.
So it'd be Monday.
Found it.
And we're going to teach you how to do logarithms. How many of you have not done logarithms?
I
Wait,
found
the
that.
lab is Friday.
Yep. Yep. Also, just to explain a little bit, because I feel slightly bad every time I keep someone out. You cannot come in unless your lab tables are there. The most important thing you probably would to survive university, your labs are worth between 10 and 15% of your total mark. But if you don't pass your labs, you don't pass the entire course. It doesn't matter what your average is. And the labs, for example, UVic, when you walked in the first day, to do your first lab, every single person in the lab is doing a different lab. Some of you are doing a lab on the content you're going to do at the end of the course, some in the middle, some at the beginning. So your lab may have nothing to do with what you're learning in class. It's just the lab person is often a different person than your instructor, and they get to pick the lab. So they may think this is important for second years to know. You don't even cover it in class. So, well, the labs are easy provided you thoroughly read them and you know what you're doing. At that point, it just becomes a matter of technique. Are you good at stuff? And if you mess up, as some of you may notice, you may stay behind. I've spent 12 hours in a lab for a 2-hour lab because I kept messing up. Other times I could be out of there in 45 minutes because I really knew what I'm doing. So part of it, you got to show up on time and you got to be ready to go. As Felix here just demonstrated. Well done. Excellent. Good job.
Ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go. So one thing I'm wanting you to do is to come to the lab, having read through it, you know the procedure, and what you're asking is only sections that you are confused on. You're asking me questions that if you read the lab you would know. That's not being prepared for the lab. You need to come ready to go. Labs are things that you need to show up ready to go and read through it. And that lab book is actually quite good. It tells you literally, it's very straightforward in terms of what step to do and what step not to do. But today, we are going to do pH and pOH of pure water. We're going to define what pH and pOH are, and we're going to learn how to calculate it.
Is that L notes up there?
Pardon?
Is that L notes up there?
L notes? Do you need L notes?
Yeah.
They're over there. There's a whole stack of them somewhere.
Do you have a sharpener by any chance?
Yeah, go up here together.
I have one here.
Can you toss it?
Check, they were L notes all the way around. Where are your L notes from last day?
Okay.
Look through the piles. I saw a whole bunch of them somewhere when I was putting all this. There's right there.
I think they were hard. I thought hard.
Yeah, he's doing so hard.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry. It's not like anything happened.
Okay. Focus. Look this way. Calculating pH. That's Soren Sorensen. I used to have a YouTube video I'd show here and it was just an insane third-year chemistry student, who had studied him so much he made a YouTube video of just him repeating his name.
Can we do it?
Soren Sorensen, Soren Sorensen, Soren Soren. And now you have the gist of the video, except it went on for 16 minutes.
Can we just see like the first minute?
The video has been made private, and I can no longer show it. I think he saw his view count going up because I showed it every year. So, can't show you that. Soren Sorensen
Dead?
developed the pH scale. I hope he's dead.
Why?
He was born in 1909. If he's still alive, he's a vampire, or a zombie. The reason we call it pH is because it is the power of H.
You finally got the board back. Mr. Newfeld,
Yeah?
you finally got the board back.
Board back?
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
It is. I don't know what you're talking about, but it's fine.
They stole your board.
NA, what are you doing? Stop blocking him in. Move your desk around.
Yeah, come on, Eric.
Eric, what are you doing?
Nick is not here though.
Who cares? You can't block NA yet.
Well, I would like to
Focus,
grab some-
board. Power of H plus, power of OH minus. It's a power because it's a logarithmic scale. How you calculate it has a formula. The pH is equal to the negative log of the concentration of H3O or H plus. And the POH is the negative log of the concentration of OH minus.
Is everything about long?
I've been told reliably that some of the practice problems you've been doing for your math classes actually involve you calculating pH from the concentration of things.
Oh my god.
So apparently, you already know how to do this.
No, turn them off.
No. I've been in Mr. Snow's class where he slowly types in a darkened classroom, and I've watched the students fall asleep and drool on their
Put
desks.
them back down.
So,
If you turn like
I
that,
also need to wake up.
it just bright like.
Yep,
if
too
someone
bad.
has a concussion and it's turning his head.
Who?
I don't have the concussion.
What?
Yeah,
Got a
it hurts
concussion.
my
It
head.
hurts
It's a
his
bad
head.
concussion.
Yeah, Nicholas
In tennis.
Number one, if a student in my own house had a concussion, I
I hit
would
him in the
know.
face with a racket.
Dylan?
I did. I like smacked. Didn't I
Dylan,
smash him with a
Dylan,
racket?
He
chemistry.
smacked him.
And Luca.
Focus.
You go for a second.
pH, less than 7. What does that mean?
It's an acid.
It's a base.
Is it an acid or it's a base?
It's an acid.
Oh, it's an acid.
Acid.
Yeah.
pH, greater than 7.
Base.
Base.
This is so annoying.
pH equal to 7.
Neutral.
Neutral. Pure water that's just been distilled. If you leave it out, it'll absorb gases from the atmosphere and become acidic. But if it is pure water, yes. We're now going to learn where those numbers come about. But first, before we do so, I want to test your ability to do logarithms in your head.
Oh my god.
You can do this so easy.
Mr. Newfeld,
I'm going to do the first one.
ever since we learned logs in like pre-calc, it's like now it's in chemistry, now it's in time.
That's why you learn it in pre-calc.
It's crazy.
The chemistry teachers of Canada demanded that you learn it then. Okay, knowing that it's the negative log, if you take the log of 1.0 times 10 to the minus 3, what number do you get?
Yeah.
No. The
You get
log of 1.0 times 10 to the
get
minus
1,000.
3,
1,000.
you don't need your calculator. It's negative 3.
Oh.
And if you take the negative of that number, you get,
Positive.
so you get
pH of 3.
3.
Where'd that father come from?
Be-
Okay.
Because we had two names.
The formula
Thank you.
is the negative log. So you take the log, you then multiply it by negative 1. Don't use your calculator. Put your calculator down. Luca, put your calculator away. Don't need your calculator.
Sorry, I love it.
If you take the log of 1.0 times 10 to the minus 4 and times it by negative 1, what number do you get?
4.
4.
4.
So now we're going to go around the room. Eshwan, what is the pH of a solution that is 1.0 times 10 to the minus 5 molar?
44.
No. Oh my God, I'm going to stab you. 5, thank you.
44.
Luca, 1.0 times 10 to the minus 12 would become
12.
1.0 times 10 to the minus 16. Sophia?
16.
Oh. 10 would become what? One, two.
1.
Yes?
1.
1. Except it's not.
Negative 1.
Negative 1. So don't forget to multiply by the negative. So you can have a negative pH. A 10 molar solution is really concentrated, but they exist. If you have a 1 molar solution, what is your pH?
Negative 1.
No, that was negative 1.
How can you have a negative pH?
0.
0.
What?
Okay, hold it. Felix,
How can you have a negative
Felix, what is the log of 1.0 times 10 to the 1?
pH? Isn't it just 1?
1. And if you multiply by that by negative 1, what do you get?
But the other ones are
No.
You get negative 1.
Well, there you go. That's how you get it.
But how come 1 times 10 to the negative 16 wouldn't be negative?
What do you take? What happens if you get the? What happens if you take the logarithm of that? What do you get?
You get 16.
No.
Negative 16.
Yeah, and you multiply that by negative 1, you get
It's 1.
Positive 16.
positive 16.
What? No.
Luca, please don't call out. Put out your hand if you have a question.
Nothing.
Okay. 1.0 times 10 to the minus 17. What would that pH be?
17.
Really, really, really basic. Like, what would be really basic?
44.
Balding guy in a talk show talking about
Why
cryptocurrency.
I got alphabet twice.
What's 100 molar?
Negative
2. Negative 2.
What?
Why negative 10?
was like negative 1.
Right? But it was negative 1 because it's times 10 to the 1. If you have 100, that is 1.0 times 10 to the... No, I need focus here. Scientific notation. If I move that over, what does that number become? 2. So you take the negative log of that, you get 2 times minus 1, you get minus 2. Okay? pH of this one? 3. And the next one's really hard. What would that one be?
3. Why is that?
Also 3. Don't question it. It just is.
Okay.
But it says that at the top too. Why did you do
I
that?
don't know why that happened. It's clearly a mistake. Now you have a chance. This one, if you were to convert it to scientific notation, what would it be?
1.3.
1.3 times 10 to the
Negative 1.
negative 1. So what should this pH be about? It should be roughly 1. Plug that into your calculators and see what you get.
But you said no.
Logarithm. Now calculators. I say different things. Now calculators. Don't make me stab you. It's blunt. It will hurt a lot. And it will hurt the whole time it's going in.
It probably won't go. But you can try if you want.
Is that an eraser?
I don't think so.
What? I've been using this all year. It writes on the board.
Are you gonna stab us with erasers?
Yes?
Yeah.
This board?
Why don't you use your hands?
Oh yeah, I only had a part.
Can I draw something?
No. I want you to tell me that answer.
Okay, if I tell you the answer.
Nope. Not, I want to see you doing it first. Not making any deals until you've done it.
Okay.
What's your new one? Why don't you just use your hands?
It's 1.
Because forks and spoons and knives make eating so much easier.
But no, for writing.
Yeah.
Because I don't have ink in my fingers.
But it's technology.
You said for writing. That's whiteboarding.
Writing on the board.
Mostly because you have grease on your hands and it gets it all dirty if you scratch it. Your fingernails can scratch it, and the grease in your hands actually takes the slowly takes the finish off. So you can use your hands. In fact, it's a bit like when you wash your clothes. If you use the amount of detergent it tells you to use, you are slowly ruining both your clothes and your washing machine.
So you need to use less or more?
Way less. Any load of laundry doesn't need more than 2 tablespoons of soap, stoichiometrically.
What if you're using the
Really?
pods?
Why?
You couldn't possibly have as much dirt as like a quarter cup or whatever requires. Yeah.
What if you're using the pod?
Yeah, they're pre-measured so that you use you use whatever is there. You don't have a choice.
So you use 1 or 2?
Get a bucket of powder.
Oh my god.
The liquids will actually slowly decrease the ability of your washing machine, and if it's you apply, you'll probably use too much. If you do use powder, don't use more than 2 tablespoons.
So the powder's better than?
Yeah, and if you can get your hands on some sodium phosphate, it'll make it work much better while you destroy the environment. So probably don't do that. The reason detergents don't work as well is if you look at your solubility sheet, what does phosphate do?
It doesn't. It makes solid.
Dissolve.
It makes everything solid. So if you have really hard water with calcium and stuff in it, it'll make a fine precipitate that goes away, takes all of that out of your water, and the soap works better on your clothes now. It doesn't react with the minerals. And so they used to add phosphates to all the laundry detergent. But then phosphate itself and those minerals are a very rare resource in like river streams and the ocean. So as soon as it hits that, an algal bloom would start, especially if there's a lot of it, which there would be in wastewater from all the homes, and you get this big algal bloom and all this mass of everything growing. Yeah, and then would suck all the oxygen out of the water and cut off all the sunlight, and everything else died. So it was bad. But if you're a chemist and you know how to get it and you're the only one doing it, then it's not that bad. It's fine. Not saying that I would do that ever, because that would be wrong. We
Would
have
you ever
not
make
do
meth?
that. No.
You should
Try.
Definitely have.
I totally would if I was.
If I wanted meth, I'd do what everybody else does and fake some ADHD and then go in and get some.
Do you get meth for ADHD?
You can get meth for
You don't actually get meth, but you do get a type of amphetamine. In some cases, one of the reasons we know you actually have ADHD versus not having ADHD is that if you have a form of ADHD and you take an amphetamine type substance, your brain calms down rather than speeds up. And the reason it does that, we think, is because the activity in some parts of your brain becomes so high, the rest of your brain learns to ignore it, and then you're actually able to concentrate.
Medications? Like,
Pardon?
What are the medications?
Yeah, the medication.
But how
Which
come you're
one?
able to fake it?
Pardon?
You're able to
Is
fake
it
it.
Adderall?
If you, anybody can fake anything because they're just asking you symptoms and they're asking you to be honest. But if you notice that your medication is making you, it feels more like something that's making you incredibly active rather than more organized, you probably don't have that style of ADHD or whatever it is. You were on the wrong medication. You actually need to find something
Well,
else.
someone took like twice or triple their dose of ADHD.
That's not good. And if you have it, don't give it to other people.
Wait, is it
yeah,
Adderall
the
that's is that the one that's
Why are you looking things up on your phone about
I'm
math?
not looking things up, this is my calculator.
What's the
Put
one?
that away.
Do you know about the
Anyway, this class and me are becoming unhinged. So, moving back.
It's because you're standing.
I want to stand,
Yeah, no, it's the days where you stand where you get a little bit more unhinged. Just, you know.
but I always stand.
Nope, not when this one takes the breath away.
No, no, then I have to sit and it's
Yeah,
sad.
and then you're not unhinged.
Okay. Write out the equation for this reaction, pure water, 25 degrees Celsius. Write out both the Kw equation that goes with it, and then calculate the pH and pOH of pure water at 25 degrees Celsius. Grab a partner, a pen, and go to the board.
You said pen.
One of those pens. Blackboard marker, whiteboard marker, a board master, apparently. This has a chisel and it's medium. Grab a partner. To the board. Eshwan, Sophia, Luca, Sophia, put your laptop away, please. Put it in your bag. It's just distracting you. Grab a marker, do that on the board, write out the reaction first. I'm going to take attendance. We're missing so many people. I should probably.
Preston.
I think it's just H2O because it goes to OH. You poured chalk in my hair and then I poured chalk in his hair.
Oh.
And then I
You could have punched into the ship.
Okay, great.
Where is everybody? Have they all left early?
Where's the
report cards, attendance, line courses, and schedule. There we go.
Oh, okay.
I don't need that.
Oh, no. It's at 16.
Okay, seriously,
Okay.
Chloe's here, Lucas here, Felix is here, Nicholas is on dorm rest, Taylor Edwards is senior boys basketball, Eric's here, Ana's here, Eshwan's here, Luce is not here, Sophia's here, Teddy's here, Dylan's here, Sabine's here, James is not here because he decided to go to Model UN instead. Terrible person, terrible person.
Okay. Wait.
Excellent.
So,
Wait, what do we have to do?
That,
Oh,
problem on the board, grab a partner.
Come over here.
Yeah, go.
Work out what we were before.
No, split into two groups of two then. Oh, everybody should be back by Friday. Nice.
And then you wanted to calculate.
What?
Log,
Oh, so you just got it.
Mr. Kingston, I'm not gonna be here on Friday
Why?
because I'm leaving.
That sounds like a you problem.
I'm just letting you know.
No. I think you should be
Why
here.
would you have it?
Just that.
I can't be here.
Pardon?
I can't be.
Why can't you?
I'm going on a trip.
What trip?
I'm going back home.
Yeah, that's not a trip. That's just you choosing to leave early. That's just skipping class.
I'm gonna get negative plus.
But it's KOH classes.
And you'll be missing a vital titration as part of your lab. It'll be more difficult to make up. But more importantly, you'll be missing the actual actions of doing the titration to learn how to be able to do such things successfully.
Probably half the time.
Why can't we just do
You
like?
should see in university when they all miss and half the class fails.
Why couldn't we have just done the third part?
Wait, we don't have a concentration, so how would I even?
Short class.
We have to find the P.
Pardon?
We don't have the concentration.
When are you leaving?
You don't need the concentration because you do have the concentration.
You love
Think back.
I
Dylan?
Dylan?
Do people have the concentration? Some people do, yeah. How did you get that though?
I did the thing.
Yeah, but you skipped a step to show how you got it. But you did do the right thing, show
So
how
I
you
need
got
the
that.
square root. Are we gonna be in the lab the entire block on Friday?
Nope, we'll do lecture first.
So how long are we gonna be in the lab on Friday?
45 minutes.
What if my lab partner is not here?
Pardon?
Why couldn't we have just done it for 45 minutes today?
Because I want the class for lecture.
Well, the board says a different thing than what you're saying.
What are you
Mr.
doing?
Neufeld, what if my lab partner
I'm
is not
looking
here?
around.
Then you should punish them.
Oh,
What?
I'm doing
But
it
that's not
fully.
gonna solve the problem though.
Yeah,
That's not gonna solve the problem though.
it's not my problem. That's what you
Do you want to be my partner?
So it's
No,
1.6.
I need to find someone else to be
Short
partners with
partner.
to share data. The other problem is that you'll have slightly different data because you have different acids and different calibrations. However, as long as you come to the same concentration for the base, you should be fine.
I didn't understand.
Excellent.
And so,
Well, excellent. We've got one.
Wait, what about this one? I showed my
And you showed your steps. You're good. And you showed your steps. You're good. Did you guys show your steps?
Yeah.
No, that's Eshman's. I saw him. He was working there the whole time.
No, and we were helping.
No,
We're giving
it
him
was-
this.
no, Sophia told me.
You were just looking at me and grinning the whole time.
Sophia
Oh,
told me it was
we were
1.008.
done.
I thought it was
Is it
1.0.
pH 7? I got 7.
It is 1.00. Where'd you get 1.008?
That makes sense.
From the
From the
book.
actual one that you
Mr. Neufeld.
Yeah, which I told you never to use.
Did I
You
get
didn't
it?
tell us
They would
that.
just-
I did.
You
But
said
they would
it's
just do the wrong
actually
thing.
1.008.
But in chemistry 12, we assume 1.00 is easy. It's even on your
That
data.
we're better than chemistry.
Pardon? There you go.
Did I get it?
Yeah, how'd you know it was 1.0 times 10 to the minus 7?
Like,
I
Why did you
swear
take
to
the square root?
God. Because these two
it's
are
like
Right, so you have to show your work.
might be able to get a
Why, what assumption are you making?
well, the KW is that times that, so
So, but what you're assuming that they're both the same, right?
Yeah.
So you show that there, like X and X. And then they
Yeah,
both become X because you know that they're saying because
Yeah.
that's what's like metrically.
Really?
And then you take the square root, so you just have to show that, yeah.
Before.
And Anna, what are you doing?
Damn.
Better than my calculator.
Okay.
It's not even yours, it's mine.
Too bad.
I'm gonna draw on your calculator.
Excellent.
Actually, my calculator
Yeah.
by iPhone.
Perfect.
Oh, this one.
I'm gonna draw on this calculator.
We're really reviewing like 2%.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think everybody.
Running out of terribly.
You should just swap it.
Was that one? I do that. Yeah, I do the recipes.
Yeah,
What?
what did you order when I'm done? I don't know.
Skadoosh.
Ooh, I have a video down here. What is that? Oh, that's the Soren Sorensen.
Oh, they took you this on private.
Oh my god.
I did check it. And here's what it says.
You might have updated it though.
Nope.
Oh my god.
It does. What the other thing it doesn't tell me, whose video is it? Like it doesn't even tell me the name of the person who made it private. So I can't go. Yeah, I'd have to do that and investigate.
You can't go what?
We should do that now.
I wanted to write them like send them a DM and be like, hey, can you unblock the video?
But
Because
this
it's funny for
person
my
was
class.
in your class?
No, just a random person who was studying online. Other videos suggested that he was
How
in
many
like
views did it
chemistry.
I didn't want.
I don't know, like 7. I just
Wait,
found it.
that's weird.
Yeah.
How many views?
Okay.
Go to an old
Nope.
library.
Not like a million views.
No.
you can find it.
Yep. Nope.
I have
Oh,
phone.
it's
Five.
in my bag.
4.
In my bag.
No.
Gone.
Or give it to your house parents. Gone for a week.
You are my husband.
I know. 5,
Okay.
4,
Okay.
3,
One second.
2.
Let me put it on do
One.
not disturb, otherwise it's gonna annoy you.
It won't annoy me.
Look.
I'll just snap it
No,
in half.
it will. What?
Have you seen the video of the professor that does that every year? While he's lecturing, on the very first lecture he does it for the entire year,
Professor, but I probably
he's got a classroom of 500 people. Someone's phone rings. He says, "You, give me your phone." He walks up. They give it to him. Takes it to the front, and then he pulls out a desk. And then he grabs a hammer and he smashes
Is
it
it not
for the whole
illegal?
class.
Does he pay the guy back for the phone?
No,
No, that's
What?
like
That's illegal.
But
No, it's not.
like someone does it.
no,
That
it's
is
not.
literally illegal,
That's
yeah.
destruction of private
No,
property.
because he gave them the phone before class so that everybody would see that. It's a fake phone.
Oh, I see.
And then everybody else in the class is like, and nobody takes out their phone for like at least a week.
Oh.
That's smart.
Okay,
You get it right.
calculate the pH and pOH of pure water at 60 degrees Celsius. Based on your answers, water is acidic, basic, or neutral at 60 degrees. You have a previous table that will be very useful for this. Go back to your
Can
thing.
you go back for a second?
What? Why?
I wanna.
But you wrote it down.
Oh.
You
I don't
should
have-
go
I
spend
think
your
I
life
read
any
anything
videos
down.
from when you were allowed to watch it. Go on, find who he was, and then.
Oh, that's a good point. I do. Ooh.
Yeah, can you check
Or just
your
go
watch
onto your old
history?
live stream now and show.
No, I delete the videos often. At the end of the year, I just delete all the videos.
Wait, why do you delete them?
Who? That's like.
Because of you.
Because then someone can come to class and not.
Because someone comes 20 years later and you're running for, I don't know, president of the United States of America.
And they used to like
And
blackmail
you say something in a classroom that nobody's ever heard, and they're like, oh look, they said this thing. Let's blow this up. Let's tell everybody, and then you get all this stuff. Although you know it's being recorded, I don't want a
That's not
permanent
gonna
thing around
happen.
on you.
Can
Yep.
you take a picture of
That would be
the
awful.
It's literally on the live stream.
You can just unlist the video.
A lot more convenient if I
We're talking everybody down.
Can you please?
Less talking, more working.
Can you please just take a picture of my
Everybody
I wrote
else,
this down, I don't have space for that.
go, write it down.
But I don't have space.
Well,
Is
there
that
you
the same thing?
Bro, just take
Yeah,
just
it's the same thing.
Bro, just grab my phone and take a picture.
Is this your phone?
The black, yeah, that is
He's
mine.
gonna smash it.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna take a picture of Echelon begging for the phone. Oh, good, we got Eric there. Not, oh, sorry, Sophie. And fine.
At least he took a picture of the board.
Oh, did I? No, I turned the volume up. There we go.
Yes.
Okay,
Spam,
that's
spam.
good. That's
Just
good.
hold it down. Just hold it down.
That's good.
Just hold it
Hold
down.
down the.
Oh.
Yeah, that button. Yeah.
I don't really care. It just goes to iCloud anyway. You can record.
I'm gonna do slow-mo.
Yeah, slow mo.
Record a 4K video.
Yeah, 4K 60 FPS.
Oh, I crashed the school's backup servers by doing the slow-mo.
How?
I was on holiday and I was watching these creatures move in a pond. I'm like, this would be cool for class. And we were at Tofino, and so I took a slow-mo picture, and it was so many gigs. And for some reason it wasn't uploading properly, so I copied it several times trying to get different versions. So I took something that was like 93 gigabytes long. Copied it several times, and I'm uploading and downloading and deleting them. There was so much memory and so many stuff being copied that eventually just crashed the school servers. And I used up all our cell phone data for the entire school. Okay, now do this.
Wait, did Mr. Lee get mad?
Yeah, Mr. Lee phoned me personally on holiday.
Jesus. Oh.
This one.
That's like terrifying.
GTO and then so I uninstalled it and redone it on my phone. And then the next one is the same thing. And it made 5 copies of GTO on my PC and then 110 gigs.
Just take the square root of it.
Okay, YouTube, your own group. There. Echelon?
To the negative 14.
Oh, no, Dylan. No, Eric's there. Dylan, Echelon, you're right here.
Echelon,
Right here.
come with me.
Please don't.
Yep. Those two right there. I'm gonna see separate work. Yes, come with me.
Okay.
Okay, come.
No, no.
Oh. You're not stuck with me.
And you're with Dylan. Excellent.
Thank you.
Go to the board.
Ow.
Okay, Dylan, let's go.
Wait, come on.
And you actually did work while I was.
Wait, no, it's a 7.
Did you say the answer is 7?
Okay, let me finish.
You didn't calculate it. 1.0 times 10 to the minus 7 is 7. But 3.09 times 10 to the minus 7 logarithm is not.
Let's go.
That marker's I think, by the way.
I mean, your theory was right, but when I was doing stuff in your head, it relies on it being 1.0.
No, throw it.
May I? Thank you.
Do you have an answer?
I'm way better at
Excellent.
throwing than Luca.
Is it 9.55 times 10 to the minus 4?
Okay, but.
I didn't explode pencil sure.
Yeah, Luca's
Or is it 9.55 times 10 to the minus 14? Or can I just not see? Oh, I can't see. Sorry, I didn't see the
No,
one.
I wrote that after you said it.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe I was crazy.
Fuck you.
Whoa!
Oh, sorry.
Dylan!
Sorry.
Can you say the N word?
What is going on? Okay, Dylan, you now have a job for that?
Yeah.
Mr.
No. This is your job. I want you, as a prefect, to gather all the grade 9s and talk to them about swearing in the house because they're doing it too often.
Wait, no. Can you clean my room for number ones?
No.
No.
That is insane.
And specifically, I want you to focus on Zach.
Should I just go like yell at Zach?
No, I don't want you to yell at them. I want you to talk about the reasons.
Dude, I feel like for Zach, the best tactic is the net boost tactic.
No more.
I said the
Now
apple
working.
pie.
I see no work up there.
Dylan,
Sorry.
just do
Are we-
something.
KW
So, is that acidic?
equals 9.55.
No, I'm just asking you, is it acidic? Is it acidic, basic, or neutral?
10 to the negative 14, you said?
Yeah. No.
You did. What's the pH?
9.55 times 10 to the negative 14.
6.5. What's the pOH?
9.55.
So is it neutral?
Negative 7.
What's the definition of neutral?
Okay, I got it.
No.
I like how Sabine is now on the No.
3.09 times 10 to the
I'm going to get a pile.
Yeah.
We're sending my parents my grandphotos.
You're setting what?
My parents my grandphotos.
Oh, negative
You have grad photos? How? You
But
have grad
in Sabine's defense, Sabine had already done all of the work. I wasn't aware that we had done it right. So Sabine had waited until after.
Mr. Newcomb, look at this.
That didn't answer my question.
Yeah, no, look it up. That's what you matter.
Look it
Now
up.
answer. Do you have a definition for what neutral is? Look it up.
Look it up.
Look it up. It's in our notes. Or it's in your textbook.
We just did it.
Or it's online.
7 equals neutral.
Does it though?
We can't do it online because it'll take our
As long as it's
It's
the
a
same
neutral
as
fact, then we can look it up.
Is 7 neutral?
It's not neutral.
When
it's
is
not.
7 neutral?
It's still neutral, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I did the thing.
I didn't say why. You said I did the thing. Why is it neutral? That thing tells me
Because
it's
the
neutral.
temperature has increased.
Yes?
We only have one of each.
I did the thing.
6.5 you said?
Because they're
Negative
equal to each
6.5.
other.
Oh, it's
So there's just as much OH as there is OH.
Because it's negative.
Oh yeah. Okay, positive 6.5.
I said that earlier.
Yeah, but I can tell you didn't really believe it. So, is it acidic, basic, or neutral?
Acidic.
Why? Is it?
You had to set there.
I don't really like it.
Is it 6.5?
This is
Yeah,
pure
I
water.
did that there.
Well then.
Did you add any acid? Why is it neutral? I mean, why is it acidic?
Okay, we'll just round it. We'll
No.
well, we all made the same mistake.
No, but like.
Why did you say that?
Because it's 6.5.
Yeah, I know.
Does that mean 6.5 is neutral?
Round it up. Round it up.
Does it?
Round it up. to 7.
I don't know. Why are you playing with my head?
I want you to tell me, what's the definition of neutral?
It's neither.
No, that's not the definition of neutral.
Yeah, technically it should be PhD.
No, that's just something you memorized.
This is right.
Is it?
That's right.
doesn't react.
Nope.
This is when it's neutral.
Yeah.
Water does react.
Yep.
And then the concentration is like half of that.
Yeah.
The definition of a.
Well, the square root of that. But what's the concentration of OH minus? What's the concentration of H plus?
It should be positive 7.
Oh, the acid and base have same concentration.
Right, so that makes it
Neutral.
neutral.
Because they cancel.
Right. So what? So at 60 degrees, what's neutral?
I don't feel like I'm looking at the
6.5.
camera.
Oh. Okay, wait.
Why? Hold it. How did you get 7?
3.07 times 10 to the negative.
It's not saved.
It's
I don't, my dear child, I don't know how you got that.
No.
Bless your heart.
You
You
just
put
said.
that into a calculator.
I did.
You did not.
It is 6.5?
Yeah.
Why
In
is
fact,
6.5?
that doesn't even have any significant figures.
I just want to we ate that up.
Calculate it. I want to see you calculate it.
Literally one.
Okay, wait, let me just try and do this in my head. Yeah, you might have that airplane because I literally can get mine.
I know, but what found it?
Yeah, I did this though.
But you said you missing ones in the study.
Should we put it on there?
I have a case.
Oh, can you give me that to, that pH to a few more decimal places? Ideally, 3 decimal places?
Okay, I opened it. My computer just says that.
Oh, but put it in, oh, I love these types of, okay. I think it's set up. Set up, FSC. FSC, yeah, no, but it stands for like scientific notation of things, how it tells you things, so you press 1. And you want it in fixed form, scientific notation. Now, if you press the down arrow, you can also go back to normal notation. So that's how you fix it. Press 1 for scientific notation, and boom, you see the decimals. If you don't want to see that, set up FSC down.
You look like you're hungry. I'm always hungry.
Oh no,
Teddy,
you
I
have to
look
take the
at
negative log of
pictures.
that.
Oh.
No, mine's
That's
terrible.
horrible ending.
He literally made me like lean on my chin, go like.
Take the negative log of that if it's like up in the drawer right now.
Pondering.
Don't-
I'm pondering.
You can't you
Not
just
even
copy
looking
it
at the camera.
or put it into memory or
I don't know
I
how to.
missed picture day.
what?
I don't know how to use this camera very well, I'm not realizing.
I mean,
You should have it in memory. So you can't just hit log.
What?
Let's before you do that, let's go
I
memory
guess
plus.
I'm not gonna graduate.
Another one. I get all that.
Use the log button. And then read the memory.
What are we supposed to be doing, right? Oh, just
One more. Then you type in negative 1. 6.510.
Yeah.
Okay. The last question, which I think I harangued most of you. I don't think I got to there. Is this acidic, basic, or neutral?
Neutral.
Why?
Neutral.
They're both the same.
They're both the same. The pH, the POH, which means for you to make this assumption that they're equal, it has to be neutral. So the fact that the pH is less than 7, the pH of 7 is only neutral at 25 degrees Celsius. So this prior thing, which we did here, I want you to now go under and do this and say only 25 degrees Celsius. Only 25. Now you could assume 25 degrees Celsius for most cases, and it doesn't vary very much. 60 degrees is quite warm. Luca?
Yeah.
So Sophie, maybe if you two separate.
No, I got the answer wrong, and that's why I was laughing because it's really bad.
No, it's not really bad, but anyway. Here, yes, the pH is less than 7, but the POH is also less than 7. They're equal. Also, 6.5 is not the correct number of significant figures.
What?
How many significant figures is in this number, 9.55? So this is 3 sig figs, right?
Yeah.
Right. How many significant figures is that one?
There's 4 in them.
No.
What?
No.
How? How is
Th-
it possible?
This has 3 sig figs. Because it's a logarithm.
What? What's that
Okay.
mean?
What that means is, when you took this, it was 3.09 times 10 to the minus 7, right? How many sig figs is that number?
That's 3.
That's 3 sig figs. When you take the logarithm, this becomes the 6, right? Like, that is where that is reflected.
I don't understand.
If I go 1.00 times 10 to the minus 7, and I take the negative log of that, what pH do I have? No. In your head. We did it before.
Oh,
10 to the minus 7. 7. That's pH of 7. Of all of these numbers, where did that 7 come from? Of all these numbers up here, where did that 7 come from?
I don't know.
No, you can see it. It's not a trick question. Where did that 7 come from?
Came from the.
Came from there. Came from there. Is this number part of the sig figs?
No.
No. So this first number before the decimal is not
Oh,
part of the
doesn't
sig
count.
figs for logarithms only.
Who made
So
that
that's why
rule?
5 or
So
5.0.
so yeah, this 7 meant it was it. This is reflected here. This number is reflected in here. So this has 3 sig figs, and this has 3 sig figs. This is not a significant figure. And so and because that is not a significant figure. I'm going to do this as a formal lesson, but I wanted to sort of preview it now while we're doing a calculation with it, because when I do it later, I know there's always some students that go, yeah, and I want you to sort of sit with this for a while, because it's very much about where that number comes from. Significant figures is about knowing where your error ends. This is not part of your error. If you know something that is like 10 to the 9, or let's pick a smaller one, 10 to the 3, 1,000. If you're saying, yeah, it's 10 to the 3, not 1 times 10 to the 3, just 10 to the 3, then you're 1,000 plus or minus a quantity of scale. Like you are now 1,000 plus or minus either 10,000 or 100. You don't know which one you are, which means you basically have almost no significant figures. So we don't include that. That is such a ridiculously high error that that's the same as knowing almost nothing. So these numbers are reflected after the decimal. So when you take the negative log, the number in front of the decimal never counts. It's just a reflection of the exponent. That's all logarithms are. Logarithms are a way of writing scientific notation with the exponent first. I don't know if your math teachers talk about it in that way to you, but if you're in science, you will start eventually to see these numbers as those numbers. Because this tells you, oh, it's like, we take a negative sign in front of it, but if you saw this number, you go, oh, it's like times 10 to the 6, and it's about halfway-ish there, maybe a little less. It's logarithmic, so it doesn't work quite as well with halfway, but we see 0.50, you're like, oh, it's a little higher than that. Okay? We'll do a formal lesson on that as well.
Wait, who made that rule? Is it Soren?
Pardon?
Is it Soren that made that rule?
He made the calculation for pH. The reason he made it a negative log is because people like to work with positive numbers.
Oh.
He could have just defined it and say it's a negative log. But people don't like negative log numbers when they're doing calculations. And when they're estimating, they're like positive numbers, so you just stuck a negative sign in front of it. Eshwan was away. Chloe was away. Very, very quickly, and we will revisit this. Eshwan? Chloe? How many significant figures does this have?
4.
Does not. How many significant number of figures does this have?
2.
3.09?
3.
That is 3.
What?
This number is just the concentration, so that has 3. Is this part of the significant figures?
No.
No. So when you take the negative log, that is what ends up here, and this is what ends up there. So you take 3 sig figs, and everything after the decimal is your sig figs. Everything before the decimal just tells you how big the number is in terms of the amount of zeros. It doesn't count for sig figs. This is only true for logarithms. We'll do it again, but I wanted you to be aware. Okay, on this page, you just have calculations. I would like you to write the pH, the concentration of the OH, and the POH for everything on this page.
What the?
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
How do we do that?
What?
yeah. For all this, all these lines.
Is this
Why?
your
I want you to write the pH, the concentration of OH minus, and the POH.
Zero, four.
It's 1 and then
For the first one, it is
No,
0, and then it is,
what?
what is that?
You know,
Go all the way back to here. When the pH was equal to 7, what did the POH equal?
7.
7. What is the PKW at 25 degree Celsius?
EKW.
The PKW. If I took the KW, 1.0 times 10 minus 14, and I took the negative log of that, what would I get? Eshwan? If I took the negative log of 1.0 times 10 minus 14, what would I get?
7.
1.0.
The negative log? What is the log of 1.0 times 10 minus 14? Dylan?
The log of 10.0 times 10 to the
1.0 times 10 minus 14. What's the log of that?
It's 14.
It's 14. The negative log of that is then 14. If you have concentration of H plus times the concentration of OH minus, focus, because this one's important. No. If you have KW, right? If I take the negative log of something, so I turned this and I did the same mathematical operation, and I said PKW is equal to pH and POH. So I just took the negative log of everything. What sign would go here? What do you do with exponents? When you multiply them in this, you plus. When you multiply, you add exponents. So when you take the negative log, you change it from a multiply to a plus. If this is equal to 14, and the pH is equal to 0,
That's gotta be 14.
what is the pOH?
It's gotta be 14.
It's got to be 14. So here, if the pH is 0, what is the pOH?
Well, it's 14.
It's 14.
So the concentration of OH negative has to be
And what's the concentration?
14.
Nope.
What?
How do you undo?
Oh,
That's the negative log.
1.00 times 10 to the negative
1.0 times 10 to the minus 14.
1.00.
1.0. Yeah, I'm not going to do that though. This is only 2 sig figs. They gave you a 1.0,
Oh, okay.
1.0 molar solution. Okay. Do all of them. Yes,
No time for this.
you do have time. It's 1 o'clock. You have 15 minutes.
Wait, can we have one more example?
Sure.
With not the 0.
Let's do this example. I'm going to do, let's see, what's my favorite food? Milk. I love milk.
I love playing.
You might have heard that if
I
you
know, our FaceTime calls where I chug
uh,
My favorite
Dylan,
food is a trade
focus. If the concentration of H3O plus is 1.0 times 10 to the minus 6, what is the pH?
At 6.
6. What is the pOH?
Is gonna be
1.0.
Oh, that is what is the pOH? The pH is 8.
Why?
What is 6 plus 8?
14.
14.
They all have to equal.
All have to equal 14.
Oh my god, I love that.
If
That's amazing.
this is 1.0 times 10 to the minus 6, what must this one be? You don't even need it to do from there. 1.0 times 10 to the minus 8, because 8 and 6 must also add up to 14. Because the KW is 1.0 times 10 to the minus 14. You may have heard that milk is basic, so as like an emerging technique, if your child swallows acid, that you make them drink milk. It's not because it's basic. In fact, as you may have noticed, it's slightly acidic. It's less acidic than, say, vinegar, which some parents will do, which is weird. The main advantage of milk is it's full of protein and fat.
Why don't?
And that reacts well with acid and stops it from reacting with you. It reacts with the milk instead, and you get curdled
What
milk.
about egg whites?
You can just chug rainwater.
Which you could chug more acidic rainwater, yes.
You just have like curdled
Yeah.
milk. Just like
Wait, you could literally chug stomach
Yeah,
acid.
basically, and hopefully you throw it up then.
Wait, what if you chug stomach acid?
Oh, if your child swallows a poison, phone poison control, because somebody's throwing up the poison is as bad as swallowing it. If it's an acid and it burns on the way down, the reason you feed them milk is because if they throw it up, it's going to burn on the way out. So the milk will react, it'll turn into chunky milk, and then hopefully that will stop it from harming them. But if they swallowed a poison, and you need to make them throw up, what do? Ipecac is something you buy, but if you hadn't thought about this before, how many of you are like older siblings with younger siblings? Okay, you need to know this. How do you make a child throw up? You can't
Put
punch.
your fingers down the throat.
You hit them.
Yeah, your fingers down throat might work. It also involves a wrestling match. Hitting them is just going to make them
Put them upside
poisoned and look like you're the murderer.
Put them in the
Like
sun.
hide
Did you put them upside down or
Oh,
something
okay,
like
not as wide as the nose out. Get some mustard and put it in warm water.
that? That's disgusting.
It is almost guaranteed to make anybody throw up, even if they like mustard. Mustard in warm water. Not hot. Don't burn their throat. Just mustard in a bit of warm water, a little bit of warm water, put in some mustard, mix it up, make them drink it. They'll almost always throw up.
What does this
Why?
have to do with siblings?
Put it in your mouth.
Because they tend to,
Bro.
if you've ever taken care of a young child, they're dedicated to killing themselves.
Well, what if you just punch him in the stomach?
I had a spawn, and what I didn't know is that they were born good. So like we had baby proofed the whole house, well half the house, and then they were born. They're crawling around, and like we wouldn't let them in certain rooms. And we realized that if we said no, don't touch things, they like didn't touch it. They're like they can't even speak yet. We're like oh, and then we'd be out and we'd see this parent at like McDonald's, and they're like this, and their child's beside them, just like freaking out, and they're like, what a bad parent. We're such a good parent. We know how to like take care of our my first spawn said no once, and my Miss Hanley and I had a family meeting about it because like, what are we gonna do? They're defying us. Then our second was born, and all hell broke loose. I caught him literally, he couldn't crawl yet, but he was dragging himself across the carpet with a fork to the electrical socket. He had marks on the electrical socket. He actively tried to kill himself every day. We had to baby-proof everything. And what we learned was, your parents don't matter. Some people are just insane. So you might have one of those little siblings, knowing mustard and warm water is useful in case you accidentally poisoned them because they got into your gummy bears.
I almost jumped off the fifth floor when I was like 5.
Okay, finish it off.
My dog.
And call poison control.
That would be really
No, my dog.
I feel like it would have been really fun. I remember from as a kid, and he
Dylan,
big and
working.
My dog got into 56 dark chocolates.
Oh, chocolate is poison.
No, my
Yeah,
dog got
dude.
into the bears.
Yeah. Are you done? So,
Actually, no, she just got into
you're almost
she
done.
just got into a giant marijuana
Echelon,
plant and
you're not even
ate
started.
half of it.
Let's go.
Yeah,
You've done nothing.
That'd be really freaking funny.
Keep going.
I did it all. I literally did it all.
Yeah.
I already done. I talked.
This
This is
like
your
we
talking.
No, I haven't.
It's like
Is it
a
good?
game where
don't have to wait till
one person has to be the dad and the other person has to be his baby, and the baby has to like try to kill himself. And the dad has to, like,
Is that a video game?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love that video game. Although it might cause too much trauma because that's too much. I'm collecting photos today when I see them out. Because there's so many.
Okay, my dog over winter break, we had like this little chocolate tray on the table, which he's 9, so I'm not sure why this was an issue this year, but you know, we do it every year.
Who is this?
My dog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dogs are like that
Yeah,
too.
he's like 9 years old though, so he's never touched the like oil covered chocolates on the table. It's never been an issue. So we have it, it's like a little square one, like a checkerboard, and in the corners we have the cheap chocolates, and then in the other corners we have the expensive Lindor ones. And this dog, he ate the opposite diagonal corners, all of them. He ate all of the Lindors and left all of the cheap chocolates.
That dog has good taste.
Yeah, he did, and he was fine. He didn't eat, he's a big dog, so it wasn't that big of an issue, and most of the chocolate in there was white chocolate. The white chocolate doesn't have the cocoa, so it's not that great. But yeah, he ate all of the expensive chocolate and left all of the cheap chocolate. And after being concerned about him, we were mad.
Oh.
It's actually exactly what I did too. I'm uncomfortable with the fact that you're like literally putting it in spots, but you still can't see the one because you're putting it so close to the spot. Individual pieces.
This is amazing. Should have thought of this years ago.
Why do you have this in the page? I still never want to What?
It's not, yeah, I don't see the
I
one.
found it like
It's on my and you have that on me? You know how I do it?
found on the ground. And it was still there. This thing is also basically
Anti-lock. Ah! This is where I need to now be able to work backwards.
Mr. Yabo, can you draw a snail?
Can I draw what? A snail?
Yeah.
What? It's a snail. Oh my god.
Oh, you saw it?
Wait, what? The nose?
That's nose.
Cheryl.
Yeah.
I have to take a picture of that.
I know. I was just gonna say that.
It looks like what?
It looks like me.
Can we take out our
We
phone
should
and take
rename
a
it.
picture of it?
No.
Oh.
Oh.
Evil.
No, Cheryl.
Okay. Write this down.
Why did you erase it?
If you want to go from the concentration of H3O plus to the concentration to the pH, so you are going this way. What is the formula?
Anti-log.
What are you talking about?
It just says anti-log.
No, like just now when I said you have to go this way. What is that formula? Sophia, put away the laptop. Oh, now I get a laptop. It's just a giant cell phone. Yeah, but not during class. Okay, I'll just put it in front. You get it.
You just love
Can I
taking
be not
guys
a
on.
giveaway event?
Someday I will build a supercomputer.
How much do you think it's
Look at what's the formula for pH.
pH negative log to the H3O.
Wait, H3, what about H plus? H plus works too, right?
Yeah, H plus is the same thing. Yep. So we do need to be able to go the other way. There is a button on your calculator that will be the anti-log. So if you need to calculate from pH the concentration of H3O plus,
Is it?
the concentration of H3O plus is equal to the inverse log
Wait, can you do?
of the negative pH. In many calculators, what this will look like is 10 to the x of some kind.
So
might as well put it on.
-1 is
So you would go 10 to the minus pH. Now, you have to be careful because some of the 10 to the minuses are like, you use that for scientific notation, and it's not actually the anti-log. But if you go 10 to the minus pH, that should be the concentration of H3O plus.
So 10 to the negative 3.
Yeah. So right now in your calculators, I want you to take the concentration of H3O plus.
Wait, do you just mean log?
No, I want you to, not ln, that's the natural log.
Oh, right.
pH is equal to 3. You know you should get 1.0 times 10 to the minus 3. I want you to find the button in your calculator that gives you that number. And as soon as you can show me that you can do that, I'll say you can go. So you have to show me that you can plug in that and get out the other one. On
Wait,
your
oh, I found it.
What?
You're good.
watch this.
I don't have a calculator.
Yeah, but show, now do it. Like, show me.
Second function.
You're good.
Log.
You're good.
Second function.
Yeah, yeah. Now show me. I would need to do it with
Okay.
pH of 3. I need to see the answer.
3 equals 1000.
Nope.
I don't have a calculator.
That's not the right answer. No, that's 1,000. That's wrong.
What's replacing the fact that the log is there?
Got it.
Yours is right. Yours is right.
I got it.
Yours is right.
0.001.
Wait,
I have my
that,
phone.
I don't have a calculator.
I didn't know.
Let me have calculator.
Yes. You're good. Yes. All right. No. Yeah, we need yes, but you have to know how to take your.
Thank you, so lunch.
Oh, no, it's just.
I gotta go quick though.
Oh, then you're good.
Yeah.
Why don't you take those for the calculator? You-
Have one.
How long have you not had one? Has it been like a term or anything like that?
No, it's just.
Okay, show me on your phone. Is this your phone?
Yeah.
Show me on your phone.
Yeah.
Use your phone
There's one on
calculator.
the phone.
Yeah, call the calculator.
Do
You
it.
told me to use the calculator on your phone. You just asked me if there's a calculator on your phone? Turn your
No,
phone.
I know this because I mean, like,
turn it
I meant there's like
Oh
an
yeah, turn it
anti-log.
sideways. You should be able to do an answer.
Swear.
Wait, wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
also I need my pencil
Anti-log.
case.
I don't have it.
What is